What's up, guys? Hopefully I started talking pretty soon after you tuned in. Otherwise, you probably just watched me sit there looking at my screen for ages, which it looks like is what happened by actually looking at my video as it comes up. But hopefully everything has gone live. So, just check the audio. Got one person watching so far. I'd like a few more, so hopefully some people join. Whoever's joined, feel free to talk in the chat. Good, audio's working. Nice. And there we go. We got B Silver Venkatesh. Welcome to the stream, my man. How are you doing? I hope everything is good. Welcome to Game Week 9 FPL Q&A live. We've also got Engerturk. Hello from the USA. Hello. What time is it in the USA? You East or West Coast? Today we're going to quickly get a Q&A out there because I don't know if my video will get out tomorrow. So I'm hoping I'll get what we learned up tomorrow, depending on what happens in the game tonight. Got some more people jumping in. We've got the False 9 in the chat. What's up, the False 9? Daz Dark, Jose Ricardo Roda. Welcome all to the stream. Numbers are starting to go up a bit, which is nice to see. As far as my team, how was my game week? It wasn't too bad. Let's go have a look, shall we? So, if we go to my points, which should be here. I so far have 59 points. Still one game to go, of course. Average points at the moment stands at 37. My game week rank currently stands at 283,060. And yeah, everything's not going too badly, to be honest. I've jumped up overall rank to 386,810th, which means I'm in the top 10% of players, which is fantastic. Because, not going to lie, I was a bit worried that I was at one point at 1.7, which was pretty terrible. Just going to tweet the stream out, although for some reason it still says Game Week 8 on it. How did everyone else do this game week? Let me know in the chat. And we will get started eventually. I know right now I'm just kind of waffling on. So, how did everyone else do? Engerturk on 53, thanks to Tom Carroll off the bench. I had Tom Carroll in my starting 11, so I'm quite happy I put him there. Ben Davies got ill just before the game by the sounds of it. Otherwise he would have played. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. David Hill, I went with 5 at the back and got destroyed. Yeah, it wasn't the weekend to go 5 at the back. There have been some weekends where 5 at the back would have really worked out well for you though, so that's just unlucky, to be honest. Then we have 59 also, not bad, by Jose Ricardo Roda. Well done, mate. Silver Venkatesh, I have Kane, Jesus and Lukaku. Should I downgrade any of them? I mean, Jesus and that Man City side look pretty damn good. The only question about that is with Aguero. Kane is looking good away from home, so I wouldn't necessarily just ignore Harry Kane. Lukaku, let's see how he does in a couple more fixtures, but now Man United have more difficult fixtures. Potentially he's going to struggle, and I think my camera's too far over. Nope, have I not moved it the right way? I'm trying to centralise myself, but maybe I should have done that before the stream started. Is that the False 9's on 38 points with Vardy left to play, Foster injured? I think that says 38. Is Ben Foster injured? That's a surprise, actually. Ben Foster is injured, so Rob Elliott would have played for me anyway then, so... Any suggestions for Ben Foster's replacement? Fabianski. Straight off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure Fabianski is a good shout. Swansea only have Arsenal as a really tough fixture in the next 5. And then, as far as goalkeeper performances, the most saves in the Premier League so far have been made by Fabianski, if my facts are correct. total saves made. Fabianski has made 32 saves, has got 4 clean sheets, and because of those saves will have had quite a few save points added to himself. The next highest with saves is Begovic, but Bournemouth have been a bit leaky. Wayne Hennessy, Crystal Palace, didn't they look pretty good this weekend against Chelsea? He's had 28 saves. The others really close are on 5 million, Forster, Schmeichel and Butland. You do have Matt Ryan on 4.5, he's made 24 saves. And then you've got Pope, only on 5 games, but he's made 23 saves. So maybe Pope could be a decent shout at 4.5 million. That's the Burnley keeper. So those would be the ones I'd look at there. I'm not going to lie, Victor, I'm kind of hoping for no Vardy party, purely because I'm doing quite well at the moment, and if Vardy has a really good game week, some people will catch up with me. Should have kept Sterling as captain, if you remember me. Oh, of course I remember you, Siraj. Kept Jesus as captain. Jesus was a lot better than my captain, mate, so you've not done too badly for yourself. I put Harry Kane as captain, and Harry Kane is still kind of plagued by Wembley, so you've not done too bad for yourself. Parab Gill, welcome to the chat. 47 points, best player Sterling, villain Kane. Kane's disappointing a lot of people. I think a lot of people captained him. Yash Falur, what's up, my man? Nice to see a mod in the chat. I know you've got things on lock there, so I can now just focus on the questions. Daz Dark got 55 points and 37 so far for your draft league. Well done, my man. Why was Davis not playing? As far as I'm aware, Davis picked up an illness. From what I understand, he was meant to play, but because of the illness, he didn't play. He's got 75% chance of playing the next fixture. Depends if he plays in the Champions League, though, I reckon, if he will play in the next fixture. But Pochettino said he was going to play 4-4-2 no matter what. But then because he saw, because Ben Davis picked up the illness, he then put Vertonghen in there. Jack Nash is going to give Chicharito one more chance at home to Brighton before selling. That's a fair enough point of view. Brighton should be a good fixture for West Ham to get some goals. The false 9, Fabianski and Nick Pope. Any point in keeping Sigurdsson? I mean, Everton's fixtures, I believe, will now look very favourable. I think they have Arsenal next, but after that, Leicester, Watford, Crystal Palace, Southampton. Your Everton players could start to pick up points, so it might be worth giving him a few more chances. He will score in Santiago, but it won't count in FPL. You're right, Siraj. He's really disappointing at Wembley at the moment, and although Spurs have picked up some wins there, Kane isn't performing. Fortunately for me, my transfer out was Mkhitaryan, and of course Man United, Liverpool ended in 0-0 draw, and I kept Eriksen, and it was very close to me getting rid of Eriksen, and it's also very close to me getting rid of Salah, but I went with Mkhitaryan for Sterling, and it paid off in the end because Eriksen did manage to score. I think if Jesus is benched for the Champions League, that's favourable for him playing Man City's next fixture, which I believe is against Burnley. Yeah, and I think that would be a good one. Burnley at home for Man City is a good fixture for your Man City prospects. B. Silva Venkatesh, my midfield is Carroll, Loftus, Chupo, Salah, Silva. Defence is Cresswell, Jones, Davis, Cedric and Bemba. And I have 9 mil in the bank. Should I swap Carroll or Loftus for Atsu? I don't know, because Loftus wouldn't have played against Chelsea because it's his parent club. But Loftus did look promising when he was playing, so who knows. Atsu hasn't really jumped out at me as far as stats are concerned. What's up, AM Saturday? How are you? Should I Mkhitaryan out for Zaha in? See, everyone's really down on Mkhitaryan at the moment, but he's still a good player. It's just that Man United side has been weakened significantly. I got rid of Mkhitaryan because out of all those players, I felt his output would be the most likely to drop out of Salah, Eriksen and Mkhitaryan. But it's still a tough one. I could see Mkhitaryan proving us all wrong next game week. So I don't know. I got rid of him, but it's your call. To be honest, the way Man City are playing, Burnley are very good defensively, but I could still see someone like Jesus or Sterling getting 2. You've got to remember, Stoke haven't looked awful apart from Chelsea. But they still conceded 2 against Man United, so I can see them conceding 2 against... Oh, I'm mixing up my teams now. Burnley have been defensively solid. I'm just mixing up my words now. I'm thinking of Stoke. Stoke have shown a tendency to concede a lot, whereas Burnley haven't. Burnley also were the side last year that upset teams like Man United by keeping clean sheets. Should I replace Ali with Salah or Coutinho? And Siraj says trust in Mickey. I'd say Salah purely because he's still the player with the most shots on goal as far as I'm aware as a midfielder. So that's why I kept Salah, because there's always a chance he could score. To be honest, I think Jose just doesn't want to lose to these big clubs and lose momentum. So he could be very defensive with the tough fixtures, but we shall see. It could be possible, mate, as I don't have JNO's FPL lover, Tom Heaton. Hey, Scott Pope. If Scott Pope continues to perform the way he's performing, potentially I could have a new lover. Stoke are playing Diouf at right back. What else can we expect from them in defence? I'd like to speak about that, actually. El Mohamed Diouf and Fabian Delph. What is with these players randomly being in right back or left back? It's like... I think Fabian Delph, apart from his assist, was one of the weakest looking players on that Man City side from what I've seen of the game. Why on earth was he playing out there? They spent millions on wing backs and then they're still playing Fabian Delph there. But that is their choice. Anyway, before we get some more questions, I just want to have a look at some of the key stats for the game week just gone. So, some of the standout performers so far from the game week, not including, of course, Leicester, West Bromwich Albion. In goal, the standout performer for the game week, you're looking at David De Gea with 5 saves and a clean sheet. You also have 5 saves made by 4 other keepers, but none of them kept a clean sheet. So we've got Matt Ryan, Pope, De Gea and Begovic, all with a lot of saves. And also a shout out to Joe Hart, who managed to get an assist. For a goalkeeper, if he had kept a clean sheet and got that assist at 4.4 million, that would have been a super performance. As far as defenders go, some of the standout performers, we had Kieran Trippier with 4 chances created, which is a great stat return. But as far as actual assists go, we only had Mamadou Sakho, and Kyle Walker getting assists. But then, of course, Kyle Walker also got that own goal, which would have hurt his points return. We then have, as far as goal threat from defenders, only Per Mertesacker, the big German, managing to get 1 goal. But as far as attempts go, Alonso had 3 attempts, so he's still up there as far as attempts go. You had Lejeune, I think that's how you say it, from Newcastle. He got 3 attempts on goal, all from inside the box. And we also had Matip with 3 attempts on goal. So decent return from those players. And then midfield, we have chances created. Best performance was Defoe from Burnley with 5 chances created. Fabregas, Henderson and Redmond all got 4 chances created each. And then as far as assists go, Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne, who looked amazing in that game, both got 2 assists, with a bunch of players getting 1 assist. Some of the standouts there, Richarlison still performing and getting points. Thomas Carroll finally becoming the 4.5 million midfielder we all wanted him to become. Grosch is there, Redmond, Fabregas, Fabian Delph, of course, Leroy Sane, Atsu, Goodmanson, Hesse and Xhaka. All of these lot chipping in with an assist. As far as goal threat for midfielders, best performer, there was no one that stood above the pack, but a lot of players got 1 goal from midfield. You had Antonio, Bakayoko, Cleverley, Ericsson, Hayden from Newcastle, a 4.5 million midfielder. If he can get some more game time, I don't know how many starts he's had. He's only had one start, so yeah, never mind about that. But if he can get some more game time and keep chipping in with some goals, that could be very, very good for us. Knockout Fernandinho with a screamer of a goal. Sane, Silva, Sterling, Bernardo Silva, and Wilfred Zaha, who looked good on his return from injury. A possible third midfielder for you at 6.7 million he's dropped to, so that could be good. As far as attempts on goal go, Antonio, Ericsson, Sane, Silva, Atsu, Defoe, Fabregas, Ritchie, Sala and Townsend had the most shots on goal. So definitely some good performances from the midfield. And then up front we have the darling of my game week with 2 goals, Gabriel Jesus. Tammy Abraham almost got brought into my side. He had 2 goals. And Gabbiadini, right when everyone's got rid of him, comes and chips in with a 2-goal hole. But I won't be jumping on that Gabbiadini bandwagon because it's Gabbiadini. Most attempts on goal, of course, Harry Kane. Nearly always gets most attempts on goal for a striker. Firmino was then second with 4, and then you've got a bunch on 3 like Calvert-Lewin, Jordan Ayew, Wood from Burnley, Diouf and Abraham. So that is the main stats from the weekend so far. And hopefully that has allowed for some more questions to come in. Sorry, I've just missed a message from my work. I may be working tomorrow, which is why this stream was slightly earlier than I was expecting. But carry on with the stream, Johnny. Focus on one thing at a time. Alright, so let's have a look. Did I say Scott Pope? I feel like I said Scott Pope, which is my mistake. But everyone's corrected me in the chat, so thank you very much for that. Young, Milner, Delph all play midfield for Aston Villa in 2009. Now all play left back. AM Saturday, it's mad seeing them two killing it lately. Fullbacks are the trend, bro. I'm thinking of bringing in Salah for Ali. What are your thoughts? I mean, he's got the chances on goal. And I know his conversion isn't the best ever. But if he keeps scoring, it's going to keep looking good for him, isn't it? I think definitely hurts that their fixture list isn't too kind, Liverpool's. Liverpool have Tottenham next, then Huddersfield, West Ham, Southampton. So a good run of 3, but then it's tail-ended with Chelsea, which isn't the best. Iush Valur benched Hart for Elliott. Feel sorry for you, man. Non-FPL question. You're trying to get people to leave my stream, Iush. Whom do you think they will sack next? Also an opinion on Watford players that they're flying high at 4th. So, who do I think will get sacked next? I don't really want to call it yet. I don't think there's anyone that really stands out as doing really poorly. As far as Watford players go, I'd say Richarlison's the standout as far as all the players go. Then, to be honest, you have a lot of good performers. The way they kind of play, it's almost like their striker, depending on who they play, is either a supporting role or an attacking role. Gray is a poacher, whereas Troy Deeney can link up better with the players around him. If Troy Deeney is playing, players like Richarlison are going to get a lot of goals. And then you've got players like Capoue and the other guy who I can't remember how to say his name off the top of my head. Is it Dakara? Let me find his name. Put it in front of me and I might be able to say it. Where is he? I'm finding every Watford... Decore, there we go. They look good bursting into midfield late, bursting into the box late, sorry, because of Troy Deeney holding up the play. And then you have the other wingers as well, Pereira, Carrillo, and then you have Tom Cleverley, who sits just behind, who is there really to switch the play to the wingers. I would look at Watford wingers as far as their attack goes, so that would be Richarlison usually on the left. And then it depends. It seems to change on the right, but that's off the top of my head. I could be wrong there. There could be someone on the right that's always playing. I think it's Carrillo, if there is someone favoured on the right. I would look at Richarlison, though. And then Decore and Capoue could be cheap options as well to get into your midfield. As far as defence goes, I think you got to look at their wing backs as well, because those wing backs or full backs do bomb forward, so could be very, very useful in FPL. Who should I sell this game week? Salah or Ali from Jack Nash? I'd go with Ali for now, but they're both great players, so I could be wrong either way, whichever way I go there. Don't know. Next last will be Wenger. To be honest, is Wenger ever going to get sacked? I think the way it's going, he's going to retire. Where is my pint? I've stopped drinking pints in stream. Put in the chat if you want to see me drinking pints again, or cans of beer. I don't know if me streaming and drinking was good or bad. It seems like some people miss it. But it would always get to near the end of the stream where I'd start getting a bit tipsy. And then I'm not sure I'm giving the best advice when I'm tipsy. AM Saturday thinks Coman. I hope Everton will give him enough time to improve, because their start was terrible. They had really tough fixtures. Whereas I personally believe that after that, their fixture list really becomes a lot better, which may see them perform better. Because after Arsenal, like I said, Leicester, Watford, Palace and Southampton. So, although Watford, is that really an easy fixture now away? Southampton, Palace, Leicester, they could still struggle, to be fair. But I think Coman can still turn it around. Exactly, Siraj. I think their fixture list now is when we judge them. If they perform really well now, everything's cool. If they still perform badly, that's when you've got to start worrying. Obiang has come back from injury. Do you think he'll be a good pick for his next few games? Not personally. I think there's probably better options in that West Ham midfield than Obiang that you could be looking to bring in. Drop Lacazette for Jesus or keep him? The way City are playing, I don't think you should prioritise any other player over a City player. Because if they keep scoring the way they are, we need those City players in my team, or our teams. Because if I didn't have those City players, if I didn't have Sterling and Jesus, my game week would have looked very, very different. Siraj is a med student. Pints only for Saturday or Sunday is his doctor's advice. I don't stream on Saturday and Sunday though. That's the problem. And to be honest, I didn't drink this Saturday and Sunday because I was working. So maybe I can treat myself today. AM Saturday does miss the drinking. Ayushfulu doesn't care what I do as long as I keep giving advice. Wonderful advice, but I like to think so. Siraj, how do you have 1.3 million? Are you kidding me? Siraj, where's my shout out if you've got 1.3 million subs? Or is Ayushfulu winding me up again? That has piqued my interest massively. That's almost taken my train of thought away from FPL. Oh well, you can't give me a shout out if you don't have any videos. But anyway, Ayushfulu, you're sidetracking me. See, I'm not seeing any subs. But well. Yeah, I can find his account and he's got no subs, according to mine, and he's got one video. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, 23 minutes in and the questions have already dried up. I thought there'd be more questions than this. Is there any other little bits of information I can give to you guys? It might be too early, to be honest, because there's still a game of the game week to go. And if Vardy does have a party, then I've kind of missed out. What I will say is Stoke seem to have some good fixtures coming up. We have Stoke with Bournemouth as their next one at home, then Watford away, then Leicester at home, then Brighton away, then Palace away. We have West Ham with only really Liverpool as a fixture that looks really difficult. They have Brighton at home, Palace away, Liverpool at home, Watford away, and then Leicester at home. Bournemouth, if you think they can turn their season around, Stoke away, Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, Huddersfield at home, Swansea away. Newcastle have Crystal Palace at home, Burnley away, Bournemouth at home in the next three. Then it is Man United and Watford are starting to look more of a difficult prospect. Brighton with West Ham, Southampton, Swansea and Stoke in the next four. So Pascal Gross could definitely be someone that could put in some performances for us. I like the look of Pascal Gross actually coming into my side with those next 4 fixtures. Swansea do have Arsenal after Leicester City, but then have Brighton, Burnley and Bournemouth. Palace, Zaha could potentially be about to get some good points. Newcastle, West Ham. Then there's Tottenham, but then there's Everton and Stoke. Everton just need the Arsenal fixture to go away. Then they look like they've got a good run. And Man City's run, even against Arsenal, I could see them scoring quite a few goals. They do have Burnley next and West Brom, who can be solid defensively. But then Leicester and Huddersfield in game week 12 and 13 look very tasty. So fixture-wise, that is how it is all piling up at the moment. As we come close to game week 11, who do you think is a good replacement for Forster from the Saints? Alright, let's have a look. Because I believe... Can I change it? I feel like I should be able to change it. No, I'm struggling. I'm trying to do something on the site I'm on and I'm struggling to do it. Forster, I mean, I'm really liking the look of Fabianski. I don't know what Swansea's fixtures are from game week 11. They've got Brighton, Burnley and Bournemouth as their first 3 fixtures, game week 11. So I am liking the look of them. Game week 14, they have... Oh, it's not loading up. That's great. But yeah, my shout is Fabianski without all the information in front of me. Should I sell Hazard? I mean, the thing is, Chelsea do not look as good as Man City, David. They don't look as good as some other sides in certain fixtures. Like Spurs look really good. I think Chelsea need someone like Morata and Diego Costa, and of course Diego Costa's gone, so they need someone like Morata. Batshuayi did not offer them the movement that was necessary for the position in their formation. Hazard probably would have been a better shout. You might see next game week Hazard play up front. That could be really good for you. So who have Chelsea got next? Because I might, if I had him, just hold for that game. They got Watford next. I mean, I'd probably keep him. If I'd spent that long to get him in, or planned to bring him in, Watford and then Bournemouth, I'd wait and see because I feel like he might get played up front. Take a point hit to get Tammy in for Niasse. I wouldn't take a point hit for it, but I'm definitely considering Tammy Abraham now. Which would mean I've got 3 Swansea players, but they do have decent fixtures. A sober J&O, see him here, but I'm for the booze, bring back the beer. I don't have beer though. If enough people want me to get a drink, I think I've got something in my cupboard. Will Sterling starting, and I've got, well, I don't know if I've got tomorrow off. So yeah, who knows? Sorry, some of my mates are wanting me to play FIFA with them. We play Pro Clubs a lot. If you haven't seen it, on my J&O channel, I did upload a Pro Clubs episode. But yeah, one of my friends is a bit eccentric. That's the word I'll use. Will Sterling start in next game week? I'm not sure how you can not start him. Like, it all depends, of course. If Aguero's playing, then they change formation, because they usually play Aguero and Jesus together. Will they still play 2 men out wide? Maybe. I think that's the problem with Sterling, is he's not nailed on. But even though he's not 100% nailed on, he has still returned massively. If I bring him up here, we can see his history. He's played in the last 4 at least 60 minutes. And he's got 9 points, 13 and 15. Only poor return was against Chelsea. And to be honest, watching that Chelsea game, it could have been very different. He got nothing against Liverpool because he didn't play. but that was the only time he didn't play at all. He got 6 and 4 in the fixtures before that, played 90 and 45, and then against Brighton he didn't get many minutes at all, so didn't get many points. I think Sterling's still a good shout because he might get rested for the Champions League, and then I feel like against sides like Burnley and West Brom, he's going to want someone fast, and I think on the form you're going to want to play him. So I'm hoping he still plays, but that's definitely not nailed on at all. Definitely get Tammy. He's a cool lad that looks like great potential. Do you know him personally, Am? He's a cool lad. He'd be even better than Llorente at the price he's at, though, to be fair. Which teams will have the easiest break until next international break? Game week 11. According to the website I use, let's get rid of some of these game weeks. If I just look until game week 11, the team with the easiest set of fixtures, according to this website, is Stoke, with Bournemouth, Watford and Leicester. Alright, to be honest, I think I've messed up the page though. But yeah, I'd say the teams that have the easier fixtures, you've got Stoke with Bournemouth, Watford, Leicester. Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Bournemouth. I do like that. Brighton, West Ham, Southampton, Swansea. Southampton, West Brom, Brighton, Hove Albion, Burnley. Those are the ones where you don't really play one of the top 6. So I'll be looking at those teams. Siraj, you could have a 1 million sub channel and study medicine, because it could be a medicine channel. Yishvalu has 4 options. Tammy in, Nias out, Zaha in, Mickey out, Jesus in, Lacazette out, Coutinho in, Mkhitaryan out. I would prioritise Man City coverage. If you don't have another Man City player, I would go Gabriel Jesus. Depending on if you have another Man City player, then I'd maybe consider Abraham to take advantage of the fixtures. Zaha, I'd like to see one more good performance out of him, and then I'd probably jump on that. Coutinho, Liverpool's fixtures don't look amazing. I'd say Coutinho's the one I'd probably go with last, but I've got a bad history with Coutinho. I always bring him in when he doesn't perform and watch him perform when I don't have him. Do I think Herrera will keep his first team place? Mourinho, as far as I can remember, does seem to like Herrera against tough teams. So I think because of his work rate, Herrera will keep his first team place. But again, that's not definite. Is it worth subbing Kane out next 2 weeks for Jesus and Aguero? I'd never say it's worth subbing Kane out, because he's the type of player that can literally go on a run of goals against absolutely anyone, as long as it's not at Wembley. Liverpool next at Wembley. I'd like that as a game where he breaks his Wembley duck, because Liverpool's defence can be poor. Then away at Man United, you know what? It would be a calculated move, wouldn't it? Potentially that could work out for you, but it could backfire. But I could see Kane getting transferred out a lot because he didn't score over game week 8. So if you wanted to think of team value, I'd probably say that might be a decent move, to be fair, Jeff. Siraj thinks Herrera's playing terrible. Craig Manuel in the chat. How you doing, my man? Good to see you in the chat. Do you think it's a good idea to... I would usually say no, but the way they're playing right now, because Sterling is a good option, Silva is definitely a good option, because they're both around the 8 million mark, you could get someone big. Although, to be honest, right now, the big player that's performing in midfield is Kevin De Bruyne, who everyone had and got rid of. So it's possibly a great move, to be fair. I'm almost at the point where I'd say it's a good move, but I really don't like doubling up in midfield. My next transfer could be a Man City defender. Stoke, Shaqiri might be an option. He has been good this season, and with Stoke's fixtures, Shaqiri could be a good shout. Shaqiri, how many points does he have? Let's have a look. Let's answer that question for you. So if we go Stoke, Shaqiri has 27 points. Only really 3 games where he's returned points. Assist in game week 4, goal in game week 5, and then assist in game week 7. But he has looked good. His underlying stats, I'm not sure if they are stellar or not. He's not really jumping into the top stats for anything though, because I would have mentioned his name before. If I change it to all matches this season. As far as chances created go, it's not changed. Does Shaqiri stand out as an option? He does. He's created 20 chances this season. Only Fabregas, Mkhitaryan, Silva and De Bruyne have created more chances. And as far as goal threat goes, if the web page will change, attempts on goal, Shaqiri is a bit lower than that. He's had 14 attempts on goal. But the only players above him that are more or a similar price, Townsend at 5.7, 0.3 million cheaper, has had 16 attempts. Ritchie has had 17 attempts at 6 million. Xhaka has had 18 attempts at 5.5. Thomas Ince has had 22 attempts at 5.8. Redmond at 6.3 with 23 attempts. Choupo-Moting has had more attempts, but that's expected, also from Stoke. And then 6.2 million, Richarlison has had 26 attempts on goal. So if you're looking for chances created, Shaqiri is definitely looking good. As far as goal attempts, I'd say him or Richarlison, probably in that price range, are the 2 best options right now. And Choupo-Moting is a good shout as well. The problem is Shaqiri has the good fixtures, whereas Watford are flying high at 4th. And their fixtures, after they get past this Chelsea fixture, are probably just as good. So if you need to make the transfer this week, Stoke and Shaqiri looks a good shout. But if you can wait until game week 10, I'd say Richarlison is your better option there. One, we have a double game week in November, right? Can you confirm, please? 2, best time to use free hit. I don't think there's a double game week in November, unless something news popped up. There hasn't been before, so the first double game week maybe around game week 27, 28, but that was, I think that was a one-off last season. Usually they're game week 34 and 37. Craig Manuel, you're doing well. That's great. Unhappy with the game week. Was going to put in Abraham and Sterling, but backed out of it. Unlucky, man. I kind of wish you'd gone with it. What's your current rank in FPL League Today League? Let's have a look. Hopefully it's improved, seeing as I've finally improved my overall rank. FPL Today League, I'm 169th, which is a big improvement. Let's have a look who's first. We've got Alex Collier, Collier FC, Punjab United, Amarinda, Abdullah, Benoit, Harvey Roche, Jambe Dorj. I probably said that wrong. Jeff Holt has gone down to 7th. Sorry to see that, my man. But yeah, I'm quite 525 points. And I'm on 448, so I'm a bit behind. I've got some catching up to do. Okay. Stoke have very poor forwards. Berahino can't score if his life depended on it. That does hurt Shaqiri by the seams of it. I don't see why they don't play Choupo-Moting up front. I reckon that could work. Round 13-14 is a double game week. I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. I'll tell you the way to find out. If it's on here, then it is official. So, game week 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Friday 24th, 25th, 26th, 28th. Yeah. Okay, I can see why you might have thought it was a double game week, but it's not. It's classed as a separate one. You do have games on Sunday. Then Tuesday and Wednesday is its own game week here. So I can see where you're coming from. But no, it's classed as its own game week. And you definitely don't have all 20 teams in the league have a double game week. You have maybe 6 teams. Usually around 6 is the big one. Maybe 7 or 8. But yeah, you had me worried then. I was like, have I missed something? Because I would potentially use my free hit if that was the case, though. Craig Manuel took out Rooney and he scored. Yeah, I've never seen a double game week before New Year's. I've hopefully shown you who's number 1 in the league. I believe you saw that. That's alright, Siraj. It's better to ask and everyone finds out for definite. Because if it had been a double game week and none of you had told me, I'd be like, come on guys, at least tell me. Anyway guys, I might call a stream here because it looks like I've got work tomorrow, which is annoying. So I need to get ready for work. I also need to shave. Yeah, it's also annoying me, to be honest. Hopefully that's not too short a stream for you. I know it's only 41 minutes, but we don't have the numbers we had last time, and I seem to have answered all the questions that a good majority of you have. Stream will go up as soon as possible if you want to watch anything back. So before I sign off, of course, in the description is all the ways you can support the channel. You can become a patron. You can get a subscription to a fantasy football magazine. Some of that money would go to me, of course. There is, of course, merchandise as well, which you can look at, and various other ways, as well as the ways you can support the stream by donating and super chatting. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. There was a few little messages I saw. Best time to use free hit, I'll quickly answer. I reckon that the best time to use the free hit would be where teams blank. So for instance, I think game week 26, 27 or 28 last year, only 8 teams played in that game week. So that would be the best time to use a free hit, because you don't have to plan in advance and then have kind of a weaker team the week before and the week after for it. You can just free hit on the week where a lot of teams aren't playing. AM Saturday, are you keeping that stash? What stash? I'm not sure what stash I've got. Bonnie Sahar, if you've got a question, ask it quickly. Yes, Falor, you hardly have any facial hair. I usually am very clean shaven, so this is annoying to me. Craig Manuel will watch the stream back. To be honest, you could maybe skip the first 3 or 4 minutes, because I tried to go live straight away and I clearly got recorded, but the screen didn't show me I was getting recorded. So there's a lot of me just sitting here staring at my screen for the beginning of it. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to call it there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. I've been J&O. This has been FPL Today. And remember, it's all about the game.